Mercury was the first human spaceflight program of the United States, running from 1958 through 1963. That its goal was to put a man into Earth orbit and return him safely. It conducted 20 uncrewed developmental flights, some using animals, and 6 successful flights by astronauts. The program, which took its name from Roman mythology, cost $2.27 billion. Astronauts were collectively known as the Mercury 7, and each spacecraft was given a name ending with a 7 by its pilot. The Mercury space capsule was produced by McDonnell Aircraft, and carried supplies of water, food and oxygen for about 1 day in a pressurized cabin. Mercury flights were launched from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida, on launch vehicles modified from the Redstone and Atlas D missiles. The capsule was fitted with a launch escape rocket to carry it safely away from the launch vehicle in case of a failure. The flight was designed to be controlled from the ground via the Manned Space Flight Network, a system of tracking and communication stations. Backup controls were outfitted on board. Small retrorockets were used to bring the spacecraft out of its orbit, after which an ablative heat shield protected it from the heat of atmospheric re-entry. Finally, a parachute slowed the craft for a water landing. Both astronaut and capsule were recovered by helicopters deployed from a U.S. Navy ship. Project Mercury was officially approved on October 7, 1958, and publicly announced on December 17. Originally called Project Astronaut, President Dwight Eisenhower felt that gave too much attention to the pilot. Instead, the name Mercury was chosen from classical mythology, which had already lent names to rockets like the Greek Atlas and Roman Jupiter for the SM-65 and PGM-19 missiles. The Mercury project gained popularity, and its missions were followed by millions on radio. Its success laid the groundwork for Project Gemini, which carried 2 astronauts in each capsule and perfected space docking maneuvers essential for crewed lunar landings in the subsequent Apollo program announced a few weeks after the first crewed Mercury flight.